Okay, side. What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Auto Existence. Today we're going to go ahead and get back to work on our CB125 project. So we're going to get these wheels on at least the front, and then we're going to try to work on the rear and get these affixed the proper way, because right now they're just kind of put on there so I had a little bit of a rolling chassis. So one thing that was pretty much the only thing that was missing from this front axle here is a spacer. So we're just going to go ahead and remove this axle and put the spacer in. So the spacer rides in here. This just has a little rubber grommet. So we're going to go ahead and grease this and install that, as well as grease our axle and install that. So this is pretty simple. All you gotta do is install a little grease in here. And sometimes you need a press for this, but most of the time you can just slide it right in there. Then we're going to take our axle and grease this up pretty good. There are bearings obviously inside there, but it doesn't hurt to move this up. So you can see the axle spacer right there. And if you notice here on the axle, there is a hole. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is correct, but I've always assumed that you use a screwdriver and insert it into that hole. That way you can tighten the nut on the other side without this spinning. Now on this side, you'll notice that there is a hole right there, and you don't need a washer for this because this is a flange nut. And what you're supposed to do is, after you have this installed, that you're going to install this castle nut with a cotter pin that goes through the hole, ensure it does not spin off. And if you're wondering, this is a 17mm. Right now we're just going to get this kind of snug. These don't need to be super tight. Now on the rear, same deal. There's a spacer that goes on this side, right side of the axle, on the brake side. Now also there's a little bit more components to the rear. There's also a sprocket, and we have a really nice new sprocket. We'll give this a polish real quick. And then also, if you watched the previous episode, you may recall that these shocks, these are aftermarket shocks. These aren't the factory Honda ones. These are made by Showa. And the metal ferrule that comes in with these did not fit on here, on these parts. I actually ended up drilling this one out on the drill press. Turns out I actually have some spares from the old factory shock, so we're just gonna press those out and use the factory ones. Easiest way I find to push these out is just take a small socket that's the same diameter of this one, of your ferrule, and a larger socket on the other side. Just use a press. I already sprayed these with a little bit of WD-40. Of course, you gotta jimmy that out, and then you might have some trouble getting your socket out. That's why I don't like to push them all the way through, but you work on them just a little bit and they come right out. So we're gonna carefully let this off again. So we're gonna go ahead and put the sprocket on the hub here, the rear wheel. So I have this studs. Also has these washers. So this goes on first. And these get tightened to 13 foot-pounds. And then there's this cap that goes over the top, but this is really dirty and everything else is so shiny, so we're gonna polish that up. Alright, so we got that polished. Not perfect, but better than it was. Just get that installed. It's semi-difficult to do this by yourself. But same thing as before, kinda. We're just gonna lube up the axle, get our spacer ready. So there's actually a C-clip that's supposed to go on there. I actually forgot to put that on. So we're gonna have to either take it apart and see if I can get it on there without doing that. All right, looks like we're just gonna have to go ahead and take the wheel off again. Get that circle clip on. All right, take two. So this isn't going on permanently either, because there is a chain tensioner that's supposed to go here, which I cannot find currently. In the previous episode, we installed the triple trees and the forks. Now we have the front hubs and brakes done, as well as the rear hubs, brake, and sprocket done. Now, where you can move on to the rest of the bike to include the motor, as well as the seats and tank and handlebars and electrics and all that other stuff. So that'll be up in upcoming episodes. This is just a quick video, just a quick weekend update for this project. So we're moving right along. No problem so far. Seems like everything is going together quite nicely. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. You can find the link to my website, autoexistence.com, in the description. You can follow me on Facebook at autoexistence, as well as Instagram at autoexistence. Thanks again. See you in the next one.